Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And welcome to episode 2 of the first annual Spooktacular. Today's pick is Justin. So, Justin, what are we watching today?
We getting spooky up in here. Uh, Yesterday we watched Beetlejuice. Today we're taking things 100% spookier. We are watching the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
All right.
So we're gonna watch that and we'll be back in a sec. And we're back. So we both finished watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 version. And the little synopsis for you guys is: the specter of a dead child rapist haunts the children of the parents who murdered him, stalking and killing them in their dreams. This movie, honestly, I watched this movie like 3 or 4 years ago now, I think it was.
Yeah.
And, since I would never remember the cast, I did not know that Katie Cassidy was in it.
Mm,
Basically, most people know her as Black Canary from Arrow. I did
mm-hmm,
not know that.
mm-hmm,
hmm
mm.
hmm
Yeah, I recognized her when she came out. I was like, oh, yeah, there you are.
Um, and seems like basically every actor in here, they don't seem like major actors, but
Except the guy who plays Freddy. You should mention him.
his name is Jackie Earl Haley.
Yep, he was in Zack Snyder's Watchmen. He played
hmm
Rorschach.
hmm
He's a pretty good actor.
He was in RoboCop,
He was
2014.
um, yeah. So I mean, uh, what did you
Just
think
tell
of
me,
it?
Dawson.
What?
I know you're about to tell me what I think, but since these are not your kind of movie, like they're not really my kind of movie either. But I really want to know what you thought. Your thoughts are more important to me right now than my thoughts.
Eh. Um, it was just eh. It wasn't. See, have you seen the original?
hmm
Uh, who is Freddy in the original one?
I will look that up. RQ.
Not the actor. I'm talking about who is his character.
I'm pretty sure he was this pretty much the same character in this one. I
He was
believe.
a child rapist.
I mean, the original synopsis just lists him as a cruel serial killer, but it I feel like this is a pretty much just like a straightforward remake. I'm not 100% sure though.
So you seen the original one?
I have, but it's been a few years.
All right. My biggest problem with this movie is I don't like movies that involve child rapist
hmm
predators. That always just eats me up inside. I've always had that fatherly instinct, and it just kills me when that happens. And so that just kind of threw me. That just kind of like put me off right off the bat when I found that out. But when it comes to characters and story, I'm gonna look up the characters right now while we're talking. I like the characters. I like the two main characters,
hmm
being Nancy and I can't remember the other guy's name. I can only
Quentin.
remember Quentin. Yep. Um, I like them. I thought they were pretty compelling. They did a really good job in this movie, I thought.
hmm
Um, Freddy was fine, but yet I haven't seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street. All I know is from clips and pictures I've seen. Um, I thought he was just fine. I didn't really care for the whole CGI face.
hmm
I think makeup is the way to go when you're going to do this character. And sometimes the CGI didn't really match up or sync up with the audio, which kind of bothered me when they did close-up shots of him talking. Um, I did get some jumps here and there at the end. I jumped a little bit, even though I saw it coming. I knew that they were going to set up for a sequel.
Which
Uh,
never
I-
came, obviously.
yeah, well, it's been okay.
It's
So
been
it's
6 years.
only it's only been six
I
years.
feel like by now they would have said something about it.
They probably would have, and it didn't do good. Um, it didn't. It has really terrible ratings, and I don't know how it did at the box office, but um, the ending, I jumped, and there's a few scenes here and there. I started predicting the jump scares,
Hmm.
uh, and I could kind of, get myself uh, ready for them, prepared for them. There's one scene where Nancy's in a closet, and I'm like, oh yeah, she is definitely, Freddy's just definitely gonna jump out at her. But yeah, so how about you talk for a second?
Um, like I said earlier, this is my second time seeing this movie, which, I mean, I didn't remember much from the first movie, but I did remember certain uh, jump scares, basically, and I remembered the ending. Basically, I remembered,
Yeah.
like you said, in a closet, I remember that.
Mhm.
Watching it, I started to remember more and more,
Yeah.
but I still enjoyed this movie for what it's worth. It did not do good, like you said.
Uh-uh.
It only has a, let me see.
It's like a 5.2,
Yeah,
something like that.
it has, yeah, it's 5.2 compared to the original, which has a 7.5. So this is
Yeah, which is
obviously the
good
inferior
for a horror.
version.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean when it comes to like remakes of classic horror,
Hmm.
no matter what, they're gonna be kind of critically panned.
Hmm.
Uh, the critics are not gonna like it as much, and even like hardcore fans of the series, which there are. Personally, we're not one of them. We're not
Hmm.
two of them, I should say. Um, but I mean, I haven't seen it, so I mean, I can't really say I'm not a fan if I've never seen it. Um, but I just thought this was okay.
Hmm.
Um, didn't really scare me. I don't think I'm gonna have trouble sleeping at night. Um,
I remember when I first watched this. I mean, it feels like 4 years ago. I was like 14. Yeah, I remember I had a terrible time trying to fall asleep that night. Cause like it was just like, like how like in the dark, like your brain will just like play tricks on
oh
you,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you think you see things. That happened to me
yeah,
like the
of course,
entire night. I was like, God,
yeah.
fuck me, this was a bad idea.
Um, I just, I think the thing that just really was like, bad for me was just the whole child rapist thing,
Hmm.
and they kind of made you feel for him as if that he was not guilty.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden they kind of hit in your face. Oh yeah, he is guilty. Here's Polaroid pictures of naked children. And I was just like, oh my god, like I understand they're trying to tell a story. And I understand this is not the worst. This is not the worst case of like a case of like child pornography or anything
Hmm.
in a movie. It did its dues and it made you hate the character. Um, but I didn't really like it personally.
Hmm.
I just felt uncomfortable. Um, but I mean, there are some cool imageries in this movie. Of course, the CGI is touchy here and there, but there is a scene where, like you said, the girl who plays Black Canary, and her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever, they're laying in a bed, and she starts having a nightmare. She starts like flying around the room.
Hmm.
Um, and there's a scene where Freddy kind of starts coming out of the wallpaper. And there's a few cool scenes where it looks good and it looks cool and it's just cool imagery and I like that. But for an overall movie, would I watch it again? I probably would. Um, but I would probably try to look at it from a different angle this time.
Hmm.
Uh, watching it again. But yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I feel like one thing I do want to mention is at the beginning of the movie, when it first started playing from the first opening scene when the guy's sitting in the diner, it felt like a high budgeted YouTube video.
Hmm.
Like I've watched a lot of YouTube miniseries that were either funded or whatever by the creator, and they look good for YouTube and they're really good, but when it comes to a high budget horror film from a horror classic, I felt like the beginning just felt like a YouTube video. Um, I kind of got used to it throughout the film, And it finally like became more of a feature film, not feature film, but yeah, it became more of an actual on big screen film. But the beginning felt like it was just a high budget YouTube video. I don't know if that was just me or what, but I don't know. Just wanted to
Mhm.
mention for anybody that maybe also felt that. Um, but yeah,
Mhm.
adrenaline, man, it does something to you. It didn't really affect him very much.
I mean, it affected him
He,
for a
he,
minute, and
he
then,
took
of
the
course,
adrenaline. He
he was
took
up
the
for like
adrenaline
70 hours, so
yeah,
it
right in
did
the
kind of.
leg, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm falling asleep now." um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like there. I don't know how many Nightmare on Elm Street movies there are.
Oh, the original
Like
series is I'm
Freddy's
pretty sure there's a
Return.
good amount of them, and
I
then
know there's like
there's
Freddy's
a
Return.
crossover between him and Jason.
Um, but I was kind of content with the spoiler, his death at the end,
Hmm.
his death. I'm doing that in quotations because it wasn't really a death, obviously. But I kind of felt for the characters and I wanted them to finally be released and to go on and with their lives. But of course, because, it's Hollywood, they have to try to set for sequel. And at the end, you see him pop out of a mirror.
Yeah, I looking like while I was watching it, I remember the ending. I just couldn't remember exactly. I didn't know. I swore it was Nancy who died at the very end, but watching
Oh, that
again, of
would have
course, it
killed me if
was
Nancy died at the
Nancy's
end.
mom.
Yeah, that would have killed me if Nancy died at the end because I really like
Yeah,
Nancy.
Nancy was a cool character.
Yeah. I like Nancy and Clinton. Like I said, they're probably my two favorite parts of this movie.
Mm.
Um, But yeah, I mean those are my thoughts. I'm gonna keep them short and sweet this time because I really don't have much to say other than it was okay.
Hmm. I think this movie does somewhat does its job of trying to scare you. Of course, a lot of horror movies they just go with like a jump scare, scary. But I feel
Cheap
like,
jump,
hmm,
yeah, the cheap jump scares.
yeah, like but for this
This
movie,
this
it seems
one,
like it kind of works. Like this movie is meant to be like jump scares.
yeah, because he's kind of like he says it's his world, it's his dream world, and he can go anywhere and do whatever he wants. So I guess him kind of appearing in different places behind you, inside of a closet, whatever, those work, I guess. But with Freddy, I don't know if it's just me, if I just wasn't affected, but I felt like with a character like Freddy, the psychological horror is the route they should have
Hmm.
but they kind of went for the jump scares.
Yeah,
Or it wasn't like
I think
it's
it's
a
just
whole
because jump
movie
scares
of
are easier to just like write
yeah,
into a
it's a
movie.
whole movie about the brain and dreaming and the whole psychological thing should have worked, but they just decided not to take that route.
Hmm.
Which, whatever, I guess.
At the end of the day, we don't have a sequel coming, and that's okay. Because there's
Yeah,
no series, there's plenty of movies to keep a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street content.
yep,
Um, I guess we should just get on to the ratings. Since neither of us have all too much more to say about this movie.
yeah.
Lawson, how about you go first this time?
I'm gonna give the Nightmare on Elm Street remake um 6.
I think I'll agree with you. A 6 seems about right.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Um. Yeah, I'd recommend it. I mean, I'd say if I'd give the person a heads up about the whole child thing, but yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I would too. So that's
All right.
pretty much it, guys. Join us tomorrow for another one of Dawson's picks. Well,
Yeah.
he'll have more of a fun Halloween movie. Kind of seems to be the
Yeah.
route that we're taking. He's going with the fun movies. I'm going with the spooky movies.
Mm,
And that's pretty much it. Subscribe, stick
Yep.
around, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.